compare it right now in the society we are living today, my friend, sex is like, I don't know the way I can describe it, because I think
It's a cup of
sex is like a gift. This is Juggle show. If you are joining us for the first time, kindly hit there, subscribe, like, comment. With Juggle, we always create conversation day by day, but today we expect this conversation at least to bring some impact into your life, positive impact. Today we are going to another level to discuss something which people always don't want to talk about. How mtaipenda, sio? Tuko hapa in Norwich hapa town. Tuna meet someone very special in this country, someone at least anajua hizi stuff more, ana advocate. At least at the end of the day, each and everyone atakuwa learn something positive. So hello guys, we are already here. Let's start conversation. This is a conversation we have been waiting for, and I hope you outside there utaipenda. And I think utakuwa unasema you have been waiting for the same conversation like us. Today we are talking about this conversation called pornography. It is a new drug in the society, and most of us don't want even to tackle it, don't want to talk about it, So today we will be talking about it. I'm hosting, I have a guest here, an advocate who will at least elaborate it to us, So join me, Elder.
Willow and the crew. First and foremost, welcome to the chambers of Ngeresa and Okalo Advocates. My name is Tonge Yoya. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and an elder in the church, that is Seventh-day Adventist Church at Lakisama Central. Thank you so much, first and foremost, because at least you have decided to tackle a conversation that most of the people don't want to talk about. It is my hope and belief that this conversation, as it begins here, will be able to escalate so that we can be able to help our society. The society is suffering in silence because the pornography we have with us, we have the gadgets where even kids can be able to unrestrictedly access pornographic sites. But then no one is talking about it. We have the ripple effects of this pornography. Then no one wants to discuss it, not even the government, not even the church. So I am so proud if young people like you can be able to start this conversation. And I want to believe that beginning from today, let us continue it so that we can be able to help the society.
So the conversation is a bit challenging, tricky, the way you understand it, and at least we have found that it's in our elder and in our seventh day. So we will be discussing both church and the society, the world, outside the world, you see, at least to get both sides wanafikiria nini kuhusu this stuff. And by the way, according to me, in pornography, I think pornography bado not even kuwatch peke, I think even audio kusikia, I think bado ni pornography. So maybe atuambie and understand pornography aje. Keep watching. At the end of this video, I think utakuwa positive impacted in your mind. So Elder, kindly tell us what is pornography first before we start.
The simplest definition of pornography is that this is just getting exposed to a content, whether it is written or whether the content is in motion, has been captured in video, that try to elicit some kind of explicit, sexual behavior, a content that makes you have that kind of sexual gratification and sexual fulfillment. That is the simplest definition of pornography.
True. Yeah, nimeipata. I hope guys there outside are getting what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, if we start, do you think that pornography can affect people, can lead to depression, or lead someone to commit suicide?
Thank you so much. As I've said, we have two angles of looking at all this.
Yeah.
We have the angle of people who don't believe in Christianity,
Yeah.
and the angle of people who are Christians.
Yeah.
I want to thank God that in this nation, 80%
Yeah.
are Christians.
Yeah.
So first of all, let me bring the other angle. The law has not basically defined pornography in the statutes that we have.
Yeah.
Or at least if you look at the Sexual Offences Act, pornography is outlawed. That is Section 2 of Sexual Offences Act. It is basically outlawed, and if you are found to be accessing or trying to make somebody get exposed to pornography without that person's consent, then you can be incarcerated and you can actually be held in for very many years, close to 14 years. Now let me come to the angle of Christianity. The angle of Christianity, you do realize that we have been given something that is very good, and that is love. The Bible, the central theme in the Bible is about love. And the way we are created as human beings, we have the desire to love and also to be loved.
True.
And you find that when somebody loves you, or you are deeply in love with somebody, then there is that feeling, that natural feeling that comes. The body reacts to that, especially if you are of opposite sex.
Yeah.
But quite unfortunate that right now when you talk about pornography, we even talk about people of the same sex having the same thing.
Yeah.
So coming back to your question on depression,
Yeah.
let me say this, that people get deceived. That the moment you expose yourself into this explicit content, into this pornographic content, you want to watch people having sex in a very unique way,
Yeah.
then there are two things that will have to basically affect your life, because you'll want to experiment, you'll want also to feel the gratification, but then in the process you look for somebody you love, or you get somebody who loves you back, but then you're getting into this because what you want is just a few moments of fulfillment or pleasure.
Yeah.
So then you get that either party will get depressed because the other person, the moment you get into it, yes, you will have sex because you are trying to exploit, but then the other party will be investing emotions. So the moment you get what you want, you move on, but then the other party is left hanging there.
Yeah.
They still feel that they had invested emotions and stuff like that. So you see, after some basically duration of time, you get one party still start having some kind of depression because of that kind of relationship. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that yes, it is true that pornography can lead to depression, especially in youths, because they get into it not knowing what they want.
True.
But the pundits have always said that pornography does not bring this kind of thing. But you see, now they are not speaking from the reality point of it. You'll get somebody who is a very young person in early teens,
Yeah.
or in mid-teens, or in the late teens, but this person is having a lot of stress, is almost bordering depression, because this person has gone through a series of challenging kind of relationship. You're watching pornographic sites, you want to experiment, you go to experiment, you invest emotions, and then you get disappointed. And then the circle continues like that.
True.
Yes.
So, do you think you have talked about Christianity here?
Mm.
Let's just look about that first before we go ahead. Do you think that Christians are doing something towards this thing, or do you think that Christians are so reluctant about this thing?
And again, I said when we were beginning, allow me reiterate that you people are doing an amazing job, because this conversation is nowhere. It is not in the church. The conversation is not in the society. Parents at home are not discussing this with their kids. So what does it tell us? It is as though the society has neglected this conversation.
Yeah.
They don't want to understand the youth in the church, and not even the youth. You even get other people who are just old enough in the church addicted to pornography. By the way, pornographic, kind of scenarios, somehow they are very addictive.
Yeah.
The moment you start, you'll always want to continue watching it. And remember, these porn stars, they are acting a movie. It is not something that is real. God did not design love to be like that. Love is not all about sex. Love is not all about the action. Love has a lot to do with it. It begins with emotion. It begins with feeling each other. It begins with having, shared visions.
Yeah.
Having joint, you really, you want to move forward together.
Yeah.
But then pornography brings another twist to it. That is all about gratification. It's all about pleasure.
Yeah.
Once you have done sex in all the funny styles that you've seen in the pornographic site, that is the end of it. So what I want to say is that church has terribly let our society down.
True.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Church is not talking about this. And how I wish that church will start talking about it, so that we can be able to help our society.
True.
At least the government is doing something. There is the bill that has been proposed, that is, I think, misuse of computer and cybercrime bill 2021, that tend to regulate the production and the circulation of pornographic materials.
And do you think government will do it? The government of Kenya will they finally find a solution for this issue?
I want to say that when you talk about it in terms of enacting a law, then I know it will be done. But then the challenge is that implementation. What we've been discussing as lawyers is that you realize that we have very good pieces of legislation. We have very good laws in this country.
True.
But then you get that when you get to those who are supposed to implement these laws, they are either reluctant, or corruption has permeated our society to an extent that even the police is not doing their job. Now, the second thing is that you realize that circulation of pornography is done electronically.
True.
So basically, it means that the government also need to regulate the computers and the phones that you are using, so that they know Willow is accessing which pornographic site at which particular moment in time. So again, that is another challenge. Yes. So yes, we'll be having the laws, but then implementation of these laws will be a little bit slow. Allow me say that pornography debate can be done well at home. And Proverbs chapter 22 verses 6. For those who believe, states that train up a child in the way he's supposed to go, and when he becomes of age, he will not depart from it. What do I mean by this? That where do we get the training of children? It begins at home. We are expecting that parents are supposed to train their children. And then there is another institution that is very integral in matters of training children and everybody in the society about faith, and that is the church. So when we get this conversation beginning from home, then you come to church, you don't neglect the conversation, you continue with it. Then when you come to the society, these children, as they continue to grow, will be able to filter. When they get bombarded with very many issues in the internet, when they access this site, at least they'll be thinking about the training that they were given. And they will be appreciating that this is not the way you are told to go, because this is not good for us. But when this conversation is not taking place anywhere, then you can be rest assured that when you get the freedom, when children get the freedom to access the phones, they access the pornographic site, then they will know that the way of life is watching pornographic sites, basically trying to explore their sexuality by basically trying to do all manner of things with their body, not minding the consequences. Another thing that I also want to talk about is, I don't know whether we are going to discuss it, but you realize that even in the industry that we have, pornographic basically content has been portrayed as the way of life. You are only civilized when you are doing crazy stuff. You are only civilized when you know about all these matters of very funny, way of exploiting your sexuality. So that is what we have.
Yeah.
But I want to emphasize that conversation should begin at home, goes to the church, and then allow when people come outside here to filter what is good and bad for them.
True. Talking of conversation should begin at home. You are from work, umalizana kazi yako, you are going home. Immediately you enter your house, you find out that your kids were watching porno. And then all of a sudden you'll start asking yourself, ilianza leo ama lini? How will you start tackling this issue with your kids?
If I speak for myself,
Yeah.
because I'm also a father and a parent, I know that in as much as I'm supposed to make sure that I block by all means my kids from accessing pornographic sites, there's one thing that I also appreciate is that they also go to school, they interact with their friends, they interact with their peers.
Yeah.
So in any unlikely or unfortunate scenario that I find my kids watching pornography, then the first thing that I will do, and maybe they might even watch this video, the first thing that I will do is to engage them in a conversation. But then I will discipline them, because you know the Bible says that spare the rod and spoil the child. So I will discipline them, but I make sure that they understand the reason why I am doing what? I'm disciplining them.
Yeah.
Secondly, I will tend to have candid conversation with them, so that I get to the bottom of it, to find out where they started all this, who enticed them into doing all this stuff, so that I can raise them to be responsible citizens. I want them to appreciate the gift of love.
True.
It's a beautiful gift. But when you exploit your sexuality when you're still young, a certain age will come when you will start cursing the society and your parents.
Yeah.
You will start saying that, I wish they taught me. I wish they told me that what I was doing was not right.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed my sexuality at the right time.
Yeah.
So basically, I believe, and my advice to all parents, my advice to the society is that yes, pornography is there. We have to contend with it. But please let us know that it has negative impact in our society.
Sure.
That is why we get marriages breaking right now.
Yeah.
We get young men who cannot be able to marry. Because when you go home, what you are watching is not what you are going to do in the real world. Real life scenario.
Yeah.
So we really need as a society to be able to control by what means, by any means possible, the access of pornographic site and content in this country.
True. When I take you back, I heard a long time ago, sex was something important in marriage. Sex was, I think it was a gift. It was something ulikuwa unangoja until marriage. But if you compare it right now in the society we are living today, my friend, sex is like, I don't know the way I can describe it, because I think
it's a cup of tea.
Yeah, sex is like a gift. Yani, even if a father dies today, and you want to mourn, to help your girlfriend to mourn, the only thing you can offer is sex. I think that sex is like mourning. It's like a birthday gift. According to you, do you believe that the society of today are misusing sex? And what's the effect of young youth misusing sex in terms of ikikuja in terms of future marriage?
Let me say this. We have what we call love.
Yeah.
We have lust.
True.
And we have infatuation. Allow me put this into context. That, you know, where youths, when they engage in sex, then they feel that they are expressing affection and love to one another.
Sure.
Not knowing that this casual sex that they have, and to make the matter worse, that you might find that they're having multiple sex with multiple partners. Not knowing that they are exploiting, they are abusing something before its time. Let's take it in a scenario where you get to a mango tree, and then you get you find some mangoes there,
yeah,
and they are not ripe.
Yeah.
Na uanze kuchuna, uanze kukula.
Yeah.
Will you feel the sweetness of this mango?
No.
You won't. The same scenario happens when you start having sex before the right time. You abuse it, and then you are going to have a bitter end instead of enjoying it. So the youth that we have in our society today is abusing sex, and not only youths, because I think this bad character, hii tabia mbaya inapoanza hapa chini inasonga mpaka huko juu, unapata even other old men and women who still believe that they can have casual sex. That one is not basically enjoying the gift that we've been given by God through creation. And even if you don't believe in God, I want you to know that if you have casual sex, then you are going to deal with the consequences. But if you have responsible sex in a marriage setup, then you are going to enjoy it as a gift. It is going to be something beautiful and something very sweet.
True. Okay, when you go to the next question, but you know, by the talking about sex, unapata you find that kwa society watu wanasemanga ati maembe unakula na chumvi. Yeah, unaanza na chumvi. So sielewangi hiyo term inamaanisha nini. But maybe watatuambia pale kwa comment section. So, do you think that watching pornography can promote gender-based violence?
Yes and no. I say yes because if one partner is faithful,
yeah,
and the other partner is wayward,
yeah,
the other partner thrives in watching pornography, then unapata ya kwamba the moment you go, you watch it, when you come back at home,
yeah,
two things happen. If you are a man, and let us face the reality, if you're a man, you might come back home satisfied already.
yeah.
So you'll not want anything to do with your wife. And the wife will be ready for you. So then it means that you'll start having issues in the house. Because you know there's one thing, that the gift that God has given you, the gift of sexuality,
Yeah.
is for you to satisfy one another. But then when now one person comes home satisfied and the other person is not satisfied, then it goes without saying that at the end of the day, you'll be having issues at home that might lead to gender-based what? Violence. Ladies tend to suffer in silence, but men will not suffer in silence. So I want to say yes, it will tend to that. Let me address the no part of it. The no is that one party might just decide, okay, if you have decided that is the way of life, then I'm also going to find my way of life.
Yeah.
So you don't have issues at home in terms of violence, but then this other party will start also cheating outside there because you are coming home fully satisfied.
True,
so
true.
One thing that we need to appreciate is that if you can avoid by all means, I will advise you that please run away from pornography.
True. So, wacha turudi nyuma kidogo kwa the other question. do you think that tunasemanga that watoto unapata you have not been told by your parents that you need to do this. So in terms of pornography, do you think that our children should be taught by the society, by the church, or the parents? Who should take the bigger part of it?
Again, I will reiterate what I said, that your child is your responsibility. If you train your child very well, then you will have peaceful retirement. And what I mean by this is that mtoto atakusumbua ukiwa mzee, lakini ukikosa kumtrain vizuri, akikuwa mang'aa, akifike pale nje, I want to tell you, hutakuwa na amani. Atakuwa na kusumbua. It's not just about pornography is just one of the vices, by the way.
Yeah.
Because pornography will also bring issues to do with drugs.
True.
Because these people, let me tell you, right now, if you go into some of these chemists and you interview them, watakwambia people are taking these sex enhancement drugs, like everything without prescription.
True.
Now these are young people, ni vijana. So you wonder if this person does not have energy even to have that affair, that illicit affair, what if by the time atakuwa sasa naoa ameweka bibi kwa nyumba?
Yeah.
So see, now pornography will bring issues to do with abusing drugs. It will bring issues to do with wanting to have money so that you can always continue with that lifestyle. So all these things will push somebody into committing even a crime.
Yeah.
So pornography, by and large, it is something that is supposed to be discussed in the society. But at the end of the day, let us make sure that we are raising a society that knows very well that pornography is not good. Now, we might be talking about people who are already addicted. You will ask me now, what happens? Mutu's diary, that is his way of life.
Yeah.
And what are we supposed to do? As a society, we have a responsibility.
Yeah.
And our responsibility is to be able to rehabilitate these people back into the society. Bring them back. Be able to tell them that all is not lost.
Yeah.
We can still make sure that you are people who live a normal life. I will tell you as a married man that there is nothing as beautiful as marriage.
True.
Marriage is very beautiful. Youths might think about marriage in terms of only what you get, satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yes, but satisfaction is very broad, because you need just to have the peace of mind.
Sure.
You need to continue the generation, a generation that you believe will grow into responsible citizens. Yes, so let us have this conversation at home, in the church, everywhere, in the society. And this is my call to the government and even the opinion leaders and the people who feel that they are leaders of the society. Either they are elected or they are not elected. That please do something so that we can have a society that is shaped up, a society that we have hope in the next generation.
True.
Yes.
We are coming to the end of our show. So before we finish, I think maybe naweza kuwa na swali moja ama mbili. Do you think that this pornography can bring a rejection in a relationship? And if so, according to you, how do you see the future marriage venye itakuwa? Do you see that being that the society and the youth are consuming a lot of pornography on the site, do you think that we have a future, a future marriage, future in marriage, no? Because I was checking out and I found out that 73% of the youths are consuming this day by day, each and every day. You find people are logging out there. 3 million each and every day are watching pornography, and if you look them, they are youths. No. The youth have the highest percentage of it. So do you think that marriage is in a better place in the future?
That is a very good question. I think our society is at risk. Yeah. Because you look at it this way, that somebody who is addicted in pornography will not sustain any marriage. Pornography will bring what we call even same-sex relationship. We've seen some very funny guys. They might criticize me for this, but I describe them as crazy people. People who really want to be identified as having affairs with the same sex.
Yeah.
I mean, the human mind cannot even fathom that. Yeah. You wonder, where did we go wrong as a society?
Yeah.
So I see marriage is threatened in this country. The Constitution in Article 45 recognizes that marriage is supposed to be between people of opposite sex.
True.
Now, pornography has brought an angle where we have people of the same sex wanting to be given that authority and free space to operate and even to marry.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, Awilo, do you think there can be another generation when we have marriage between the people of the same sex?
No, nothing like that. Because you cannot tell me that a woman and a woman can give birth.
They can't, yes. Yeah. So you see the way the society, our existence, the existence of humanity is threatened because of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you think that this pornography can bring rejection in a relationship?
I will tend to say that rejection and depression are conjoined twins. Because somebody will only be depressed when he feels or she feels like she is rejected. Now, pornography brings a state where you will want to watch this content and satisfy yourself. So it means that in as much as you want the desire to satisfy yourself, there is no room for you to be in arrangement where somebody loves you.
True.
Yes. So you see, at the end of the day, you will do this thing, moving from one person, one partner to the next partner, until you somehow remain alone, and then you feel rejected in the society. So yes, I say, without mincing my words, that pornography can bring rejection in a relationship.
You're talking, those your points are so heavy. In fact, we need to check on them very serious. With pornography and entertainment, can you say something about that?
Yes. I think I was almost forgetting about that, because this is where we have a problem with our society. Because any secular entertainment has some content of some kind of invitation to explicit content.
Yeah.
Any secular music, any secular entertainment, utapata kama mtu akishoot video, anataka kushoot na either ladies who are just in bikinis, ladies who are almost naked, either men wearing some very funny stuff. So you realize that in secular music, they are only praising what? It's all about praising sex. There's nothing else. They are discussing about how it appears like wanajifanya, they are talking about love, but if you see the content, the movie that they are trying to match that love, then you realize that what they are discussing is about something to just to expose you to self-gratification. So secular music is not doing anything good for our society. If you look, we have sometimes some very good secular music, but if you look at the content again, you don't see any kind of teaching that the society is getting from this. And even gospel music, funny enough, you get even some gospel music where actually they don't give much. So we have entertainment that is not basically helping the society. We need to have entertainment that is inspiring the young ones to come up in a way that they can express their talent, but then in a way that this talent will make them continue building the better generation to come.
But to them, we always say that it's about making money. We don't care who will see, who will watch. What we care about is money. No. So at the end of the day, someone is doing that. At the end of the day, apate cash. No. Because people are saying that Vituka is at least in attract more people. Unaona, more people on table than preaching the word of God.
Jua tukiongea juu ya pesa, then again hapa tunapata changamoto mingi.
You're missing the point.
Because honestly, I always believe money is not everything.
Yeah.
I've been having this argument with my friends, and even my colleagues here at the farm. They tell me that, Tonge, it doesn't matter. The end justifies what? The means.
Yeah.
As long as we umepata pesa, because we are here to look for money. Anybody will argue like that, because why will I come all the way to Nairobi to be in this office where I'm paying rent every month trying to make money? Because I know at the end of the day, for me to move from point A to B in terms of progress and development, I need to work hard to get that money. Now, wacha nikwambie, you need to know that you match the money that you get with happiness. Kuna watu wako na pesa sana lakini hawana nini? Happiness. Hawana amani, hawana furaha. It doesn't. The Bible says that it doesn't profit a man to acquire everything and lose what?
The kingdom of God.
Lose his soul and the kingdom. You know, you can sell your soul because you want money, and then you will not have happiness. Well, how do you feel when you have money and you're not sleeping at night?
It doesn't make
you keep on
sense.
hopping from one club to another. Then you're looking for women to buy.
Yeah.
Money need to bring happiness to you. The moment you realize money does not bring happiness, then it will be my humble submission and advice to you that please look back to where you missed the point and the good way that you're supposed to follow.
True.
So it's not all about money. Yes, money is good, but remember, the Bible says that money is the root cause of all what? All evil.
True.
Ukianza na pesa inaleta vitu zingine yenye haipendezi Mungu. Ni Mungu anapeana pesa. And by the way, young people, let me tell you one thing. Pesa iko, Mungu atakubariki. Just do what you're doing. Like right now, you're working very hard. I'm so happy about this. I really appreciate it, and that's why I agreed to this interview, because I really want to support the talent that you have. But then you also had an option. Utafute mama wa Haria. But you and the entire crew mumeamua you're not going to go that direction. You just hustle, just work hard, money will follow you. When you do what you are doing passionately, I tell you that money will do what? Will follow you. Money will, you don't chase the money. If you chase money, money will run away.
True.
But if you do whatever you know passionately, then money will come your way. Come your way. So it's musiweke pesa mbele vijana.
Okay, we are coming to the end of the show today. So we'll have another day at least to come tuongee na Edna tena, because ametuambia yeye ni advocate, unaona? Atuambia advocate and lawyer na and Christian inaingia na aje, because you find that saa zingine nimeuona pale, nimekuja nikamwambia chukua hii 100k endo nitetee pale lenyewe, in really sense nimeuona. So one time I need to, that story inakaa interesting sana, I need to hear the story. So what was the last point ya last word unaweza ambia watu nje pale, youth general?
I want to speak straight to the youths. That youths know that your future is in your hands. You can either decide to build that future or to ruin that future. Whatever you do right now will impact in your life either positively or negatively in few years to come. If you decide to overindulge in matters of pornography and also having illicit relationships, I want to tell you, I want to submit to you that a time will come that that energy will be required of you, but you'll not be having it because it will not be there. Let me say something as an elder. That as an elder, one thing that I know is that when you submit your life to God, then God does not leave you at the time of need. If you look at Jeremiah 29:11, it states that God has good plans for us. These are plans to give us future and hope. So all the time you need to anchor your thoughts and everything unto God. Usitafute pesa, mtu asikudanganye ya kwamba you can easily when you shoot pornographic videos. Let me tell you, that will ruin you, because that is the market of the devil. You don't want to trade with the devil, because when you trade with the devil, you will not like the consequences. Will just challenge me, and this is a concern that I know very many people always have. That how do I juggle between being an advocate and a church elder?
Yeah.
Yes, because you get somebody walking into my office and they have all manner of cases. It is my duty to be able to help them. And yeah, I know it is a duty that a client is also supposed to be very honest with an advocate. This is a conversation that we'll have next time. But I want to say that it is very, very simple to juggle it. Because my duty is to counsel the society, to make sure that the society lives in peace, to make sure that I handle the cases and dispense justice at the end of the day. We have laws that are interpreted. I want to tell you that for people who might not know, that you see, even if somebody murders, we have things that the court will be looking into. The intention and the action. Somebody can murder without having the intention. I mean, you just realize in self-defense you murder somebody. So at the end of the day, when we go there, basically we are just like playing. We are trying to. You remember, like in the Bible, in Exodus. In Exodus, Moses was basically judging over the children of Israel. And this is a nation that had very many people. So at the end of the day, what matters was justice. So my role is just to make sure that justice is dispensed within the four corners of the law. Thank you so much. I really love the opportunity that you've given me appearing in your show. I look forward to doing this once again.
Sure.
And it's my sincere hope that you continue building and doing it passionately.
Yeah.
And I believe this is going to take you far.
Thanks. You are always welcome in our show. So, with Untold Truth, we always bring conversation which bring a positive impact day by day into your life. We always say that we inspire, we entertain, and we motivate. But I think today we have inspired a lot and we are motivate. If you're watching the show, you kindly can realize that as a society, we are missing the point and we need to work on it. So guys, sina mingi la kusema, tunasema tu tunawachia hapo. So if you're joining for the first time, can you do something? Subscribe there, share and comment.
And guys, I also want to echo that let us support our young men and women, our youths, by just subscribing and then place a comment and then you like, so that all the time they can also get a way on how they can survive without necessarily having to resort to crime. Thank you everyone, and may God bless you.